Recently, Danny successfully completed the construction of the front side gun tower of the castle, giving this dilapidated structure a new lease on life. His next plan is to repair the last section of the castle's tower, but before that, he needs to lay a waterproof layer on the wooden gun tower roof to prevent leaks and mold issues. This time, he called on a few old friends for help, and together they carefully laid the waterproof membrane on the wooden roof boards and secured it with a stapler, providing temporary waterproof protection for the roof. After completing the waterproofing, Danny decided to move all the equipment upstairs to make subsequent work more efficient. After an afternoon of effort by the three of them, they successfully moved the equipment from downstairs to the top floor. Next, he used a lift to transport plastic barrels and iron chains to the top of the tower, and then carefully began removing the damaged wall tiles of the tower. The stones were lowered to the ground via the plastic barrels, while the intact red bricks were kept for later use. Due to the old and unstable wall structure, the demolition took 2 days to clear, leaving only the solid circular beams of the house. After the demolition was finished, Danny first cleaned up the debris inside to prevent rubbish from accumulating. The next morning, he continued cleaning the debris on the balcony, and with the help of friends, the balcony was quickly restored to a tidy state. However, considering that the railing had already cracked, for safety reasons, he decided to remove it as well. Next, the bearded Nick cut some wooden beams and transported some of the wood from the ground up. Small wooden pieces were wedged into the gaps of the circular beams and then secured with wooden planks to create a mold for pouring the house beams. The edges were filled with foam glue, and to enhance stability, rebar was placed inside the mold. Once the concrete filled the mold, all that was left was to wait for it to dry. As the sky was overcast, they promptly covered the mold with waterproof plastic to prevent rainwater from seeping in. A few days later, Danny purchased and brought in hollow bricks, removed the house beam mold, and began laying the upper half of the tower's walls. With the help of Nick and Mike, and Danny's extensive bricklaying experience, the tower walls quickly reached the height of the rear gun tower. To ensure a beautiful and reasonable overall layout, Danny added 2 more bricks in height. They then cut the wood into the appropriate sizes and assembled them into triangular frames, giving the castle its initial shape. Danny and Nick specifically rode their bikes to a forest 200 meters away from the castle to observe the overall effect of the design from a distance. After confirming everything was in place, they decided to proceed with the renovation according to this design. That day, Danny removed the worn-out tile decorations from the tower to prepare for future cleaning and renovation. The next day, they meticulously cleaned the tower base, filled the wall gaps, and smoothed the wall surfaces. After treating the wall surfaces, Danny measured the walls, sprayed paint for marking, and applied adhesive coatings before fixing the wooden boards to the frame. This will serve as the wooden base to stabilize the tower structure. With this, the castle renovation has taken another step forward. Although the progress is slow, Danny's meticulous approach ensures that, with his persistence, the final castle will undoubtedly take on its ideal form. Let's look forward to his upcoming updates.